Ever since I started this series in March, I realized that it's like a ton of work, and I've decided that I'm only going to release one video this week just to take some of the pressure off from this type of video. You might be saying, oh, then just stop doing this series if it's too much work, but I really like having these videos as a time capsule of the month, and I feel like they'll be really cool to have down the line in a year, in 2 years, 3 years. The internet really moves so fast that you forget all of these weird little trends that happen. And if you're new here, welcome. Welcome back to the Miscellaneous channel where we do miscellaneous things. I'm Zeleny. I typically cover pop culture, internet trends, and other miscellaneous things on this channel, so subscribe if that's your vibe. This is a monthly series where I recap pop culture and internet trends of the past month. So let's get right into July 2021's pop culture and internet media trends. There were pop culture moments, there was Olympics drama, there was a lot of intense cancellations. Again, this is very heavily biased towards my algorithm and interests, kind of, but I try to keep it to the most sort of mainstream trends. So let's start with pop culture news, and a lot of the times we start off with celebrity couples or breakups, and this month had a few. Mostly love was in the air in July of 2021, and we saw Zendaya and Tom Holland displaying PDA and confirming, I guess, that they're together. They've been rumored to be together ever since 2017 when they co-starred in Spider-Man Homecoming, but they've also been rumored to be dating other people between then and now, so maybe it's an on and off again thing. I did read that there is another Spider-Man Homecoming with them two coming out later this year, so I do wonder. It does seem like a weird coincidence. Next we have another couple spotted, and that was Harry Styles and Olivia Wilde, who have been dating for a few months, I think ever since February. They were photographed together off the coast of Tuscany in Italy, vacationing on a yacht, dancing and kissing and canoodling. And they actually met when she was directing a movie that he was starring in. Their relationship has garnered a lot of discussion about like their age gap and, you know, the typical cougar discourse. Harry Styles is 27 and Olivia Wilde is 37. The thing I do find a little bit weird about this relationship is that it was started as like a professional, like, superior thing, which is a bit of a different thing. Like, she was his superior as the director on this movie, so that to me, I'm like, that's a little bit of a gray area there. But their age gap to me doesn't seem as big a deal as people make it out to be. I actually looked into Jason Sudeikis, who is Olivia Wilde's ex-husband. They have 2 kids together, and he is now dating his co-star from his new show called Ted Lasso. Their age gap is 11 years. She's 34 and he's 45. Olivia Wilde and Harry Styles are big news. I mean, they're obviously way more of A-list celebrities, no shade. There's still so much talk about the age gap when Jason Sudeikis is dating someone with a larger age gap and no one says anything about it. So next, this piece of news was really cute. It was Issa Rae revealed that she had had a secret wedding in southern France. Issa Rae is the star of an HBO show called Insecure that ran for a bunch of seasons. I think it just ended pretty recently. She revealed on her Instagram in kind of funny post but a very glamorous photo shoot that she got married. People on social media reacted very positively to this. She looked amazing in the photos. Next we had Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez. Bennifer, we already knew that they had gone back together, but they confirmed it and had a lot of PDA moments. They were caught making out at a restaurant, and then they were caught on a yacht, and he was like grabbing her butt, and it was like pretty much an exact recreation of a 2001 photo from when they originally dated. Fans are actually speculating that J-Lo is recreating her Jenny from the Block music video, which I'm not horribly familiar with, so I didn't catch that. He starred in her music video back then as well. I found this photo of the butt photo where he's like grabbing her butt on the yacht. When the photo is more zoomed out, you see like a professional photographer, videographer there shooting them. So it does seem like it is for something. I don't know if the whole relationship is staged for this music video or not. I'm not familiar enough with their work, but it's definitely interesting. Moving on from romantic news, now let's get into other pop culture moments. This past month, we had a bit of a billionaire space race with several billionaires trying to make trips into space and making huge deals about it. Richard Branson went up into space, and then Jeff Bezos of Amazon went up in this very phallic shaped spaceship. For about 10 minutes, they were just so gleeful about it. They were trying to just get people excited about it, but it's a bit of a read the room moment. If this had happened at a time when people were a little more prosperous and happy in general, maybe it would have been deemed more exciting, but right now with the global pandemic and so much social inequality, people are just like not having it, and they got fully dragged on social media for this. Jeff Bezos had the Washington Post post this article that was like, oh, this is actually a great thing for people that they're going to space, and it's just like people are not buying it. There was also this clip that went viral of Jeffrey Bezos cackling in an evil villain sort of a way, so people are very much comparing him to an evil villain, and it's a little bit of a jarring clip. I try to keep these videos kind of politics free, like politics news free, because that would be a whole other video of what happened this month in politics. There are still moments where pop culture and politics overlap, and there's a couple moments honestly this month that do. That's a good segue into another political moment, which was Olivia Rodrigo, who is like Gen Z's queen right now with her Sour album. She was invited to the White House and she spoke at the podium looking very presidential, talking about vaccines and encouraging young people to get vaccinated. I even saw a tweet of the Teletubbies showing their vaccination cards. Sorry, I was trying to keep a straight face for that, but like the Teletubbies, they got vaccinated. So even young people getting encouraged by their idols to get vaccinated this month. Ariana Grande also posted about getting her vaccine, encouraging her fans to get the vaccine. This month had a lot of push for marketing COVID-19 vaccines to young people. And now moving from politics into law, we're talking again about part 2, the remix of the Free Britney movement that we've been talking about the past few months. There were a few developments this month. Again, good progress for ending Britney's conservatorship potentially. She was able to get a new attorney. Her manager left. Her family started showing support a little too late, and Britney was a lot less cryptic and a lot more to the point about what she thinks about everything. There were some posts where she gathered Jamie Lynn Spears, and everyone was living on social media for this. I mean, I think everyone who supports the Free Britney movement is very aware of how her family has been complicit in the conservatorship, not just her dad, who is the conservator, but her mom and her sister, Jamie Lynn. So she is being more open about that now. It's really great to see that because she was not able to talk for a long time. The thing with the court cases like this and stuff, like there are so many rounds. It's like petitioning and approving and hearings and all these things that I don't really understand, but I just know there are steps being made, and there have been some victories in July towards freedom for Britney Spears. I have no good segue for this, and it's a short pop culture moment on social media, but Ashley Olsen was photographed hiking with a machete. This photo was actually shared by her boyfriend with zero context. So we don't know why she had a machete. People were excited about it. People received it well. This month we had the beginning of the Olympics. There was a lot of controversy about holding these Olympics, which I can't get much into here because I don't think that's pop culture. Again, that's sort of political. There has been a lot of drama around the Olympics, like in the actual competitions as well. Like some of it more fun, some of it more serious. I also really appreciated this windsurfer from the Netherlands. He actually won the gold medal in windsurfing, which is like sailing kind of type thing. And he had the haircut resembling the Avatar Blue Arrow from Avatar The Last Airbender. He is a windsurfer, so like he admires sort of the airbending skill set, and he just wanted to pay homage to The Last Airbender, and it was really cool how he won gold too. We also had the debut of skateboarding in the Olympics. I'm ashamed how much I've been keeping up with the Olympics, honestly. I feel like no one else cares, but I'm trying to give you all the fun the fun parts that I've seen. The debut of skateboarding was really fun. I watched the women's competition, and it was crazy how the winners were both 13 years old. I didn't know 13-year-olds could compete in the Olympics. Like, I thought you had to be 16, but these 13-year-old girls won, and the bronze was a 16-year-old. So they have their whole life ahead of them, literally. The most popular sport at the Olympics is always women's gymnastics. Obviously, the elephant in the room is that Simone Biles, who is the greatest gymnast right now in the world, actually got this mental physical condition at the Tokyo Olympics that rendered her not to be able to compete. The gymnasts call it the twisties, which I think is a very cutesy name for something that seems very severe, but basically she was losing her place in the air and she could easily break a limb or worse with an accident from one of these stunts. Right now the gymnastics events are all very early, like 4 a.m. to 9 a.m. kind of time slots, and it's just like I've been waking up kind of early to watch them. I know I'm a stan, I guess, of gymnastics. Only at gymnastics, that's the only sport. I woke up mostly to watch Simone Biles live compete in the team final, and I was just shocked what they started saying. Like, it looks like she's out of bars, and then she's out of the whole thing, and then she's out of the individual finals as well. Obviously, it created a ton of discourse. I'm probably going to make a separate video about gymnastics and Olympics, because there's been some interesting docuseries following the gymnasts. But this Simone Biles exit obviously became like the huge talking point of the Olympics, and a lot of haters invalidating the decision due to it being a more mental health related decision. But I feel like she's gotten a lot of support from fellow gymnasts and celebrities and people in general. If Simone Biles wants to, after gymnastics, have a career in mental health advocacy, I think this decision of self-care is going to be huge for giving her that opportunity. So I feel like if she wants to look at the bright side, like, I feel like she could have a long and lucrative career advocating for mental health. She's already proven so much. No one can do what she does. She doesn't have anything else to prove. So now let's move on to TV and movie news. This month we had the Emmy nominations, which I don't care that much for the Emmys because I don't watch a lot of those shows. It's so drama heavy, and I don't watch too many dramas. I think streaming really has been ruling the Emmys nowadays. Like, HBO has a lot of nominations. Netflix's The Crown, Disney Plus's WandaVision, The Handmaid's Tale on Hulu all got like a ton of nominations. I'm mostly excited for MJ Rodriguez, who was nominated for an Emmy for Best Actress on Pose. Pose has been campaigning for the Emmys for all of their 3 seasons, and Billy Porter, I think, has gotten nominated. They had been wanting their female actresses to get nominated because they do a great job. It would also be very important trans representation in the Emmys, so it's great MJ Rodriguez is there now. So continuing with TV news, Meghan McCain left The View. I think people are pretty indifferent about it. I don't think that many people watch The View. I don't watch The View. I mean, I think a lot of people watch The View, but not the same people watching these videos. And Meghan McCain was basically known as being the conservative opinion on The View. The only thing I'll miss are her wacky ass hairstyles. Next, we had a cancellation of a beloved children's cartoon, and that was Arthur, after like 25 years on the air. I think fans on social media that feel nostalgic about Arthur shared their condolences over this. Next, moving on to movie announcements, and one that garnered a lot of buzz on social media was Jordan Peele's announcement of his new movie called Nope. It's his follow-up to Us and Get Out, his previous horror thrillers. But don't get too excited about Nope. It actually comes out in July of 2022. It stars Daniel Kaluuya and Keke Palmer, and I'm excited to see Keke Palmer because I'm a big fan of her. I was a big fan of her in her Nickelodeon days. True Jackson VP all the way. Also, I don't think this brought a lot of attention in the mainstream, but I have to mention it, of course. My queen, Lady Gaga. The trailer for her upcoming movie, House of Gucci, came out in July. It comes out in the fall, and it stars Lady Gaga, Adam Driver, Jared Leto, looking very like an old man, Al Pacino, and is directed by Ridley Scott. So I'm just excited for Gaga to have another big movie moment. We'll see how this movie is. I don't know if I'll like it, honestly, but I'm excited just to watch her. And moving on to streaming related news, Space Jam released a sequel or reboot. Space Jam was a movie starring Michael Jordan and the Looney Tunes, and this weird like live action / cartoon type of movie in the 90s, and now it's released it's called A New Legacy, starring LeBron James. I saw pretty negative reviews for the new Space Jam, but I saw some mixed opinions. I actually haven't seen it myself, so I can't give the full verdict, but I started watching the 90s one just to like refresh my memory. And yeah, it's a kids movie. It just feels like people are judging the new one a little harshly due to the nostalgia factor of the original. Was it Space Jam on HBO Max? I don't know if Space Jam was on HBO Max, but on HBO Max, Gossip Girl released their big reboot and generally got negative reviews, I would say. I have a whole video on the Gossip Girl reboot if you want to check it out. It's a little bit try-hard and takes itself very seriously compared to the original. Over on Netflix, people were really obsessed with Twilight again. It's crazy because in the fall of 2020, it felt like Twilight got its first renaissance, but in July of 2021, when the whole Twilight saga was released on Netflix, it feels like it's having another renaissance already. The Twilight saga was like trending top 5 on Netflix for a minute there. It's become again an obsession. A piece of news that came out towards the end of the month related to the Disney Plus streaming platform, and that was Scarlett Johansson is suing Disney for breach of contract, saying that they put Black Widow on Disney Plus and saying that that's a violation of her contract. She says she tried to warn them about this and tell them not to do that, and they ignored her. I believe her that this wasn't agreed upon and Disney just does whatever they want. If it's breach of contract, then it's breach of contract. Like, more power to her. I also saw that Emma Stone is considering suing after this as well for them putting Cruella on streaming. And then also there was news that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson said he's not planning to sue. I feel like he's just like trying to stay in Disney's good graces, which is probably a smart move, but also unfortunately Disney's such a giant, like I don't know that they'll get much out of it, but they could get some good money out of it. So next let's move into pop music, which had some big moments this month. I think Halsey had some important moments. Halsey debuted her new album cover, and it was kind of a big statement. It does have her breast out. She's like holding a baby. It's a very royal painting type style. It's like Baroque. I don't know art history or art time periods, but it's like that ornate whatever style. She released this album cover and said her new rock album was going to be about her experience with her pregnancy, and in July she also did give birth to her firstborn named Ender. Lorde continued her promo of her new era. What is it called? Solar Power. She was doing a lot of like late night shows, interviews, performing with like Jimmy Fallon or whoever, and she even did a Hot Ones interview where she impressed the host by not really flinching at the hottest flavor of wings. She just took it and said it was nice, and people were like, whoa. We also had a few music videos this month that were sort of big events, I would say. We had Normani release Wild Side. I swear, I thought it was Wild Slide for most of the time, and I'm pretty sure it's Wild Side, featuring Cardi B. And this music video was a big deal. It was a very sensual music video, and Normani has actually been like MIA music-wise for a long time. So people were shocked when she released new music finally. The pop heads were shook. This music video was very sexy. It showed off her dancing skills. She is notoriously a great dancer. There was this one moment that went kind of viral of her like with herself somehow. So I don't know how they did the special effects for that one, but it was pretty cool. At the very end of the month, Billie Eilish released her new album, Happier Than Ever, and the main single for it had a music video called Happier Than Ever. A lot of people were responding really well to it. I did listen to the song, and it was interesting. It was a longer song, especially for nowadays. The first half was pretty acoustic-y, and then it got kind of dark and more edgy in the second half, and I think the video followed that as well. I don't care much for Billie Eilish's music, so I'm not surprised I don't love the single. I'm sorry. A lot of people are loving the single on Twitter. And finally, the biggest music video moment of this month was Lil Nas X again. He doesn't miss with his promo of his music and videos. He had this big lead up for his new single called Industry Baby, and a music video that again embraced homosexuality, promoted it, you could say. It included this Jack Harlow guy who is like this rapper that some people really find attractive. He's like a basic straight white guy, whatever. I guess that's like good for having an ally. Maybe that's a good thing. But yeah, Lil Nas X released this Industry Baby music video where it was set in a prison environment, but he was also making a lot of references to homosexuality, and he had like pink jumpsuits, and it was like just a very gay prison. He also included a bail fund and raised a ton of money for that. So in the end, it was a video for a good cause. It had a ton of attention and promo behind it. It obviously fueled a lot of hate from conservative media. He did what he's good at and created conversation and made yet another huge pop culture moment. He has very important representation, and we'll get to why in the cancel section. So speaking of, let's move on to Cancel Watch. This is generally where I talk about any scandals or controversies that celebrities or influencers have been involved in this month. The biggest cancellations were from like Gen Z celebrities. They may not be Gen Z themselves, the celebrity, but they're like popular with Gen Z. Let's begin with Addison Rae. Addison Rae is a very popular TikTok star that does little dances. She's the white girl that went on Jimmy Kimmel and taught him dances that were very watered down from the original choreography from black creators on TikTok. So she actually was at a UFC fight of some sort. She saw Trump there, the Donald Trump, and she went up to him, was like, "Hi, I'm Addison. I just couldn't pass up a chance to meet you. Nice to meet you." Like, so excited to meet Trump, right? She's denied being a Republican before because she was caught being a Republican somehow. And she still sort of doesn't confirm that she is or not, but I think this makes it pretty clear that, like, if she's fangirling over Trump, then, you know, that tells me all I need to know. So next I have this situation that I saw a YouTube video about that was like a deep dive. I sort of missed this news. I don't know if it was like big news. I think they did a good job like covering it up a bit, but this has to do with Millie Bobby Brown and her ex-boyfriend Hunter Echo, who is a TikTok star. So he's allegedly her ex-boyfriend. Millie Bobby Brown's camp has denied that she dated him and that anything that he said about her was true. So this Hunter Echo guy is a TikTok star that's like 21. He went on Instagram Live and was basically super drunk and probably drugged up, and he started giving very intimate details about being with Millie Bobby Brown, to the point where the commenters were telling him, you know, like, she's underage, you are a groomer, and he was like, haha, yeah, I groomed her. Allegedly, when the relationship was happening, she was 16, 17, and he was 21. It's definitely a very gross situation, and I feel so bad for Millie Bobby Brown. Like, I feel like this guy is such a loser. Like, he was so slimy. He was blaming her for everything. You can find deep dive videos about it if you're interested, but just know this TikTok guy is canceled. Hunter Echo self-admittedly is a groomer. He made a half-assed typical YouTuber apology with the gray hoodie. Very publicist made me do this. He just seems so slimy. I don't think anyone knew who he was. He's so irrelevant, but just please let him stay irrelevant. And then the biggest cancellation this month, I'm sure a lot of people have heard about it, and that is Dababy. There's this rapper guy who made really homophobic comments and ignorant comments at his concert about HIV. I was literally like this This was my reaction to Dababy's comments. But he got really canceled. I think he suffered from not being super established. Like, it seems to me like Dababy was just like really heading towards his peak in his career. He was like at the top of the headlines for a lot of music festivals, but he hasn't made this big legacy the way like a Kanye West has, or even Chris Brown has. These men that people try to cancel, but they don't succeed no matter how bad their crimes are. Dababy just didn't even have that legacy to have the foundation, so he got really canceled. Many high-profile celebrities and musicians came out against him, condemning him, like Dua Lipa condemned his actions. Dua Lipa featured him on a song. It was a remix, so not the original song, of Levitating. I have never in my life heard the Dababy version of Levitating. Like, that song without him in it is perfection. Like, I could never. Elton John came out against him. There's a really good post I saw on Instagram about this whole situation that I will link below. I would recommend you check it out if you're interested in seeing the comments he made, as well as some facts debunking like his ignorant claims regarding HIV and AIDS. He seems pretty canceled, but also like you could argue cancel culture like never works, so I don't really know. He doubled down after this concert saying he would never apologize, that his gay fans don't have HIV, until finally in August already, as I'm filming this, he posted this formal apology, clearly written by a publicist of some kind, and it came after he got dropped from a ton of music festivals. He was very unapologetic until that started happening, making his now apology seem very fake. This is why it's important to have people like Lil Nas X. People say like, oh, he just makes his personality about being gay or whatever, or that's all he cares to show in his videos and stuff. And it's like, no, it's like important to show those things right now. This is why Lil Nas X is putting it in the forefront of his art. Next, let's move on to our final category, and that is social media. So let me start with the most prolific meme of this month. It didn't last like the whole month. I feel like it lasted like a good week, but it was overwhelming, and that was the Vin Diesel family meme. So this meme originated from Vin Diesel's character in Fast and Furious, that he always has lines talking about how family is nothing stronger than family kind of lines. A new Fast and Furious movie was coming out called F9. Apparently the meme originated on Reddit, someone making it like a Star Wars meme. In the same format we've seen, usually it's like incorporating Vin Diesel saying family in different movie scenes, but basically like nothing stronger than family. It almost reminded me of like the Chuck Norris jokes way back when I was in middle school. It's very that vibe. It originated on Reddit, but it was all over TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, it was everywhere. Some news from Twitter itself this month was that Twitter is getting rid of fleets. Fleets were Twitter's attempt at making stories on Twitter. They're removing it due to low popularity. It is very unpopular, honestly. I see like maybe 2 or 3 circles when I follow a lot of people. Rip fleets. Next, another big trend this month was talking about the old beach. So I didn't mention this in the movie section, but M. Night Shyamalan, I think that's his name, released a new movie this month that is in theaters. It's called Old. The concept of the movie is that the characters go to this mysterious beach where they get old really fast. I think. I haven't seen the movie. For some reason, it became like a joke to talk about it. Some people speculate that it was a viral marketing campaign, the way sort of like what was that Sandra Bullock blindfolded movie? Bluebird? No. Bird Box. Bird Box. How that went viral for some reason. Sometimes these movies create like tweet and meme formats that are a little suspicious. Even the Vin Diesel one to promote F9 seems suspicious. I do feel like this old one is possibly some viral marketing campaign, but a lot of people are just making jokes about going to the old beach or making memes about going to the old beach. Here are some of them. And I found this trend pretty funny. I saw this video of Emma Roberts go viral where it's just like so funny unintentionally. Like she just posted this video of her at the beach on her Instagram. It's kind of similar vibes as the Scarlett Johansson white girl dancing from, I think it's from Marriage Story. I don't know how to explain it, you just have to see it. Here it is. And finally, let's talk about my favorite social media, TikTok. There were quite a few trends on TikTok I noticed this month. I think an overwhelming one was this Reba song called I'm a Survivor. It's basically a trend where people show like a hard thing they do. Usually it's dramatized, like when I unpack the groceries into the fridge. The song is like a single mom that works 2 jobs, my 2 kids. Even Reba herself joined in on the joke and made one of her feeding her donkeys or something. It's cool that she's on TikTok. I didn't even know that. There was also another like trend at the same time that was like the same trend, but it was this audio of Cardi B saying like, I don't even have time for my love life to see my family. That audio, but it's the same thing. It's like dramatizing like a hard thing you do. And finally, I saw a trend make a comeback on TikTok. It's the blue-red filter that like with one color you look like masculine and another color you look feminine. This trend was, I feel like, viral last year, but it became viral again. I don't know if I'd seen a TikTok trend make a comeback, so exactly. So those are all the trends I have for July of 2021's trend report. Please let me know in the comments below if I've missed any trends. I would love to hear about it. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed. I put out new videos once to twice a week about pop culture, internet trends, and other miscellaneous things. And you can follow me at Miscellaneous on Instagram or Twitter to find out about new videos, or just turn on the bell notification here on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.